Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Thursday, February 27th. Now, before we begin, please be sure to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand. Now, today, we'll be talking about chaos at a funeral as a gunman opened fire on mourners, scalebacks and delays at U-Tapao Airport and high-speed rail projects. And a little later, Cambodia's redoubled efforts at cracking down on call center scam operations. But first, we're back here in the big city. Fed up Bangkok locals demand action on rowdy foreign renters. Residents of a Bangkok condo are frustrated with noisy foreign renters disrupting their peaceful home. Complaints about loud parties, cannabis use, and pool rule violations have circulated online, with security concerns mounting as keycards, easily accessible near the garage, undermine safety measures. Despite a face scanner being installed, unauthorized short-term rentals persist. Residents have repeatedly sought help from authorities, but little action has been taken. They now demand stricter government regulations to curb the issue as the disturbances continue unchecked. Okay, I like the PU lady that you got there. But yeah, so this is a big issue in Thailand that a lot of residential complexes, apartment complexes, they're renting them out to short-term renters, which is totally not allowed. It's against the law. It's against the management policies. People are doing it anyways and getting away with it. And this is a big issue because the people, you know, I'm a long-term renter. I'm a Farang who rents from a Thai person here, but I live there. So, like, I know my neighbors. I am respectful. I don't have loud parties anymore. I guess I used to be one of these people. But no, it's a big problem when people are here temporarily because they're just on vacation. So they want to have fun. But if you're going to do that, you got to go to places that are equipped for it, like hotels and that kind of a thing. So making it everybody else's problem, kind of an issue. Not sure exactly what the authorities are going to do to stamp this out. But yeah, I don't know. Is that all that's all the footage we could get for that one?
Kind of, man.
That's all right. Weird stock photos of people holding their no. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, serious story. We'll see if anything comes of it. That's what I was looking for. People drinking and smoking at the pools. Thank you. Let's do more of that. All right. What else do we got? Technical difficulties. I think we're good though right now. Off the Cuff Adventures. Good morning. Thank you for all the news stories. Appreciate you for tuning in. And Teddy Bear, good morning as well. I think we're good with the technical difficulties at this point. Let me know if there are more, guys, and what they are, and then we can check on that. Sorry again. Live stream. You're gonna come into these issues. That's why we have editing for the actual videos that we publish. All right. Moving on. Yes, and entitled foreigners, of course. All right, now moving on. Oh yeah, and Vishai, if you can, when I'm talking to the audience, the commenters, would you be able to pop up the live chat for that?
Yeah, I can do it.
That's the thing? Cool. All right, nice. I love having my team around me. Next story. All right, this one's a pretty crazy one. A funeral turned chaotic as a man opens fire. Fortunately, only one injured, no deaths. A funeral in Chonburi turned violent when a drunken man, 32-year-old Ekarin, fired multiple gunshots, injuring 52-year-old Paibun. The incident occurred on February 21st at Tung Plao Temple, with CCTV capturing the chaos. Police arrested Ekarin at the scene and seized a .38 revolver, spent cartridges, and additional ammunition. His accomplice, Somchai, who drove him to the funeral, was also charged. Both face attempted murder and firearm-related offenses, but have been released on bail. Eey. Witnesses say the suspects caused a disturbance before Ekarin returned to fire into the crowd. Concerned residents are urging stricter police action to ensure safety at such events. Horrifying, like, yeah, I guess, like, trying to turn it into a double funeral, I guess, but fortunately this guy's a bad shot and only injured somebody, but he is being charged with attempted murder. This guy is not going to have a fun time. You got to wonder, didn't really explain what the motivation was in this story, so we kind of don't know. Also scary, released on bail. This guy, you know, he's obviously going to be facing some serious charges, but at the same time, now he's sort of out there, And whoever the intended victims were are still, probably fearing for their lives. So I'm not sure exactly, what was bail set at? How was he able to post bail when he was, the charge is attempted murder? And there's very clear evidence with CCTV footage of him doing it. I don't know. To me, this reads like a failure of the justice system. But I just hope that everybody remains safe and okay from this very unstable person. Especially, God, a funeral, man? Like, have some quorum. Like, this is just, people are just trying to already mourn. No need to add any more negative feelings to the situation. Now, not even working? Damien, come on. Hopefully, I see my stream. I'm looking at it. I can see it. I think I'm hoping that we're okay for most of you. Just try refreshing. Sorry, Damien. I hope you're there. And so much for rest in peace. Yeah, tell me about it. Jesus, people know decency. This is an absolutely abhorrent thing to do to people who are already mourning the loss of somebody. And I'm shocked he's allowed out on bail. That's like the most horrifying part of all of this, because this happened 2 days ago. He's already back out and doing God knows what. So stay safe, everybody. All right, I'm going to move on, hoping that the technical difficulties are not actually occurring for most of you. Yes, thank you, Damien, for telling me. I hope that you're back with us. I'm going to refresh again just to make sure I'm doing all right on my end. Okay, moving on. Now, that is not the only armed conflict that we have on today's show. An armed man confronted a woman over bathroom noise in Uttaradit. That's right, a woman in Uttaradit was left terrified after a gun-wielding man angrily banged on her door, accusing her of making too much noise while cleaning her bathroom. What's wrong with people? The shocking February 24th incident was caught on CCTV footage showing the shirtless man holding a firearm and muttering profanities before storming upstairs. The woman, who had been cleaning for less than 10 minutes, was shaken and fears for her safety. The dormitory owner advised her to report the incident, and police are now investigating. The event has sparked public outrage with calls for stricter security in residential buildings. Yeah, that's pretty horrifying. Okay, all right, noisy neighbors, sure, annoying. Complain to your landlord. That is, you don't go and settle this with firearms and intimidating women because they were cleaning their bathroom for 10 minutes. I guess, I don't know what time of day this was. Maybe it was annoying. That's fine. But the overkill of the reaction is really the problem here. This is something that I always say, it's tough to be a girl in this world, man. Men just sort of fly off the handle sometimes and put women into these terrible situations. Look, I'm not saying that there's not bad women in the world either, but boy, it does appear to be scarier. And this poor girl now has to live with this neighbor of hers, right? That can hear her, apparently, who's just now off the hook, but a little unhinged and obviously has a firearm. So she's walking on eggshells, man, and that's just no way to live. Poor girl. April, right? Wow. Shake my head. Can't even clean. Dude, it was 10 minutes of cleaning, too. It wasn't even an hour of loud music or something like that. Absolutely insane. Danny Fan coming in with a news story from another part of the world. Apparently 3 young women from Revere, Massachusetts died in Belize. Look, I'll look that up at the end of the show and we'll give you an update on that when we get to the end of it. And I'll talk a bit more about some world news. But thank you for bringing it to my attention, Danny Fan. Sounds horrifying. All right, well, anyways, let's move on to a miracle. Hi, what's up, Conan? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right. Sorry. Moving on to our next story, which is a nice one. A car repair shop owner survived a truck accident in Udon Thani. That's right, a car repair shop owner in Udon Thani narrowly escaped a fatal accident while test driving a customer's truck on February 25th. CCTV footage captured the moment the high-speed Isuzu pickup truck overturned multiple times due to slippery roads from light rain. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, extracting the injured man from the wreckage and transporting him to Wangsam Mo Hospital. The incident highlights the dangers of wet road conditions. Yeah, no duh. and excessive speeds. All right, so this is obviously a big issue in Thailand. It's one of the reasons why Thailand has one of the highest rates of traffic deaths in the world. People are a little cavalier, right? Like, especially on scooters and driving new vehicles, as this man was, test driving something, unfamiliar with the vehicle. And then, of course, the light rain, that is exactly when it's the worst time, right? Heavy rains wash away the oil. It's like that light rain time where things slick up a little bit more. Fortunately, this guy wearing a seatbelt, I assume, and was able to be extracted by emergency services to minor injuries. But hopefully that's a lesson to him and to all of you. Be careful out there, man. Don't go too fast. I'd rather, you get there slowly than not at all. All right, what do we got? Buffering still, says Nathan. Sorry, maybe we're having, we had a power outage here yesterday. I'm wondering if the internet is affected, but my stream seems okay. Stinking rockets. I definitely fixed your mechanical issue, sir. But yeah, hilarious. So, engine's good, but now it's upside down. And Danny Fan says, oops, insurance? Yeah, hopefully this guy has insurance. Otherwise, he's going to be on the hook for a long time. And Thai drivers are the best drivers in the world. I've seen worse, okay? I grew up in Miami, where they are actually, in my opinion, the worst drivers in the world. But in any case. Aussies2 says, stream is running fine, but you look more pale than usual. That's what I was saying. Like, we got the colors off. I'm sickly now. I don't know. All right. It's fine. One day of weird coloration, we'll get back to normal. I feel more red than usual. Actually, I went to Koh Samui. Thought I'd get even more tanned, but it was actually raining the whole time. Not sure what's going on. My mom has rosacea. I think I'm getting older, and it's starting to express those genes a little bit more. Yeah, Steam working fine. Thank you, Elliot, for chiming in. And many drivers don't follow the rules because there isn't any penalty. Yee. Yeah, I will say that in America, we basically live in constant fear of the police while driving. I mean, that's how I always felt back there. Don't seem to see that fear exist really in Thailand much at all. All right, and I'm sorry, guys. Bear with us. Hopefully the stream will keep up, but it seems like we seem like we're doing fine on our end, but apparently a lot of people are having some issues. In any case, thank you for coming. Redheads don't tan, LOL. Thank you, Danny Fan. I'm aware. I just get more red. And I'm only half redhead, so I'm a day walker. All right, and Wayne Lesperance says, try driving in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. No rules. An evil twin, handsome man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, where are my list of worst drivers? I would say China, absolutely terrible. Where else? Egypt. Cairo was really bad. I didn't like that. Where else? I'm just trying to think. Miami, horrific. Yeah, be careful out there, everybody, just on the roads. It's one of my favorite things about living in a big city is that I have completely outsourced the stress of driving. So I'm just living a much happier life, I think. All right, yeah, and last thought from Elliot, I wouldn't say that there isn't any penalty, but the punishments are ridiculously light, sure thing, and Aussie Stu says India for sure. I think India, they're not really driving anyways, they're just honking at each other. All right, moving on. A little bit of economic and infrastructure news here in Thailand. For anybody in Pattaya, this will be of interest to you. Apparently, the U-Tapao Airport expansion has been scaled back amid high-speed rail delays on top of that. The expansion of U-Tapao Airport is being significantly reduced as the long-delayed Bangkok-Rayong high-speed rail project remains stalled. Originally designed to accommodate 12 million passengers annually, the revised plan may cut capacity by up to 50%, handling only 5 million. U-Tapao International Airport aviation chief Kiri stated that while the Eastern Aviation City project will proceed, it will be on a smaller scale due to uncertainty surrounding government infrastructure plans. The 290 billion baht project remains in limbo as key transport links face ongoing setbacks. I mean, that was the whole point. Like, Pattaya is kind of like, it's a big city, but it's harder to get to. U-Tapao Airport is supposed to be the solution to that. And the ability to handle that many visitors, right, both domestic and international, that's a big thing, especially for the economy of that city. If that's being scaled back, I wonder what the real issue is. They're talking about it's a funding issue. Maybe are the tourism numbers not as high as they expect them to be, so this expansion isn't as justified as previously thought. 12 million per year is a lot, but I mean, it's Thailand. We're like one of the most visited countries in the world. So the fact that this is in limbo is concerning, because not only, of course, the expansion would help facilitate a lot more tourism, bring in a lot more tourism dollars, the infrastructure project itself would also create a lot of jobs and boost the economy in a lot of ways too. So hopefully they can figure that out. And yeah, as for the high-speed rail project, not going to hold my breath. That's been a long time coming, and I don't see any end in sight for that. Yeah, Evil Twin says, maybe finish a project or two before you start 8 more. Fair play. Yeah, if you go to the outskirts of Bangkok, you see tons of like overpass construction that has just been going on forever. There's supposed to be like expansions to the BTS system and things like that. Look, you know, slowly but surely, it does happen, but yeah, it does seem to be a lot more slowly and a lot less surely. I'll say that. And yeah, running out of money could also be the problem. Well said. All right, last story. I gotta feel good. Well, unless you like snakes. But if you like dogs, you'll like this one. Two brave dogs have killed a snake in their owner's garden. That's right. 2 Jack Russell Terriers in Phetchabun defended their home by killing a large snake that slithered into their garden on February 25th. Their owner shared a viral video of the encounter, revealing that the dogs, named 1 and 3, creative, have eliminated over 10 snakes in the past 2 years. Fortunately, this snake was non-venomous, but the property has seen several snake intrusions, with all leading to the same fate for the trespassers. Online commenters praised the dog's bravery, with many amazed at their hunting instincts. Don't mess with Jack Russells, apparently, man. Like, that story, I got a couple of puns. Cold-blooded on the part of the dogs. And, yeah, that snake had entered the wrong neighborhood. Extra cringe for you today. But, wild. I don't know, man. The bravery of these dogs and the fearlessness of them, and the fact that, I don't even like watching it. I like animals, all of them. Like, can't we all just get along? But, yeah, I mean, you know, snakes could be dangerous. Got to protect the territory. And, yeah, I guess I'm glad they're on my side. So, congratulations to the owner for raising some serious badass dogs. And, yeah, snakes, if you're listening, please steer clear of there. Yeah, brave dogs indeed, says Elliot. Sneaking Rocket says, well, this snake's just like, WTF, this is a jungle, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, fair enough on that one, Sneaking Rocket. Boy, like, they were not messing around. I always like the idea of, like, okay, there's a snake, and then they bring in the handlers and come to, like, okay, we're gonna catch it and release it. That feels nicer to me, you know, my stupid bleeding heart. But hey, you gotta protect the territory, man. Can't be having snakes just roaming around in your yard. So, yeah, fair play to the pups over there. So, all right, guys, that's it for our Thailand section of the news. But before we get into the ASEAN Now section, I want to plug some events for you that are coming up in Bangkok. The Comedy Joint on Khao San Road is one of my favorite places to perform. It is Bangkok's only fully dedicated every night. Well, actually, now there's 2. But one of the best comedy clubs in Bangkok. And they have a big act coming in, and that is Olga Kok. Yeah, that's how it's pronounced, okay? So, in any case, she's an amazing talent. She's performed in all sorts of big venues, like including the Apollo over in New York. Amazing talent, and she is coming to Bangkok to perform at the Comedy Joint on the 16th and 17th in March. So if you are in town, this is an event that I highly recommend. Obviously, you know, I'm always plugging my comedy shows, but you know, it's much bigger deal when we have really incredible talent coming from around the world through here, and the fact that we can put on these shows is such a privilege in the first place. And then the idea that if these shows come up and they're successful, we're gonna get bigger and bigger names. Oh, yeah, and by the way, God, this is one of the plugs I forgot, but don't worry, because it's not for a long time. Speaking of which, Bangkok is on the map. Louis C.K., obviously controversial comedian, but one of the legends, one of the greats of the art, is coming to Bangkok next March 21st in 2026. So comedy is on the map here in Bangkok, guys. There's tons of great events, and this one right here, Olga, I highly recommend. If you're in town, go check it out. Yeah, it is supposed to be more like Coke, but then I was told to pronounce it like that, so maybe it was Coke. The guy said it's pronounced how you want it to be pronounced. So then I said, so I'm gonna say Olga Cock on my show first thing in the morning, and he was like, he just sent me a laugh emoji. So maybe it is Coke, but whatever. Olga, I know her as Olga only, and I've seen her performing. She's fantastic. Highly recommended. Moving on to our next plug, we have a big concert coming to Bangkok. One of my favorite bands that I haven't seen in such a long, or I've never seen actually. I'm very excited. This came as a surprise to me. It sort of slipped under my radar, but Glass Animals, the human musical group sensation. Very fun aesthetic that they have. Very fun sound. Is coming to Bangkok on Tuesday, March 4th. So that's next week at the Samyan Midtown. Thank you. Hall. So I will be going, hopefully, right, Kaimuk? We've secured those tickets. But I hope that anybody who is in town will also be able to be able to go. Elliot, are you going? Like you're my concert head. Is this on your radar? But very excited for that, and we'll be doing some promo for that a little bit later too. Yeah. Oh, Vanilla Man in Thailand talking about the last story. Grilled snake tastes like chicken. Agreed. I've eaten snake. It's not bad. Yeah, and Adventures Foreign and Domestic. I've always had trouble pronouncing Samyan Midtown. Is the R silent? Yeah. Why did you throw an R in there? Just to mess with Farangs. Yeah, that's all you guys do. This is why we can't pronounce things. Just throwing in extra letters here and there. The upcoming Glass Animals concert is near my place. Well, Elliot, maybe I'll see you there. All right. Oh, my teleprompter shut off in the middle of my plugs. So, guys, that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news and the plugs. We're off to the rest of the ASEAN region. First stop, Cambodia. That's right, the Cambodian Prime Minister is leading high-level crackdowns on online scams. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet is personally leading a new high-level commission to combat online scams and human trafficking, a growing issue tarnishing the country's reputation. The commission, backed by top ministers and law enforcement, aims to dismantle foreign-run syndicates, luring victims and forced labor and cyber fraud. The initiative follows Cambodia's downgrade to Tier 3 in the U.S. Trafficking in Persons report, risking sanctions. The commission has sweeping powers, including deploying armed forces, conducting international cooperation, and enforcing cybersecurity measures. Experts view this as a crucial step in restoring Cambodia's credibility and economic stability. Those things just look horrifying, right? So this has been a big problem in all of Southeast Asia. There are like foreign enterprises that come and set up call scam centers in places where regulation is a little more lax, places like Cambodia, and people are lured in by the prospect of jobs, right, and living in exotic locations, and then all of a sudden they're turned into basically slaves, right? They're being human trafficked, they're being held against their will to scam other people. So there's like a layer of defense between the actual orchestrators and the also victims of these call scam centers who are, in turn scamming other people. So this is good that it's being taken so seriously. What the efficacy of these efforts will be remains to be seen, but at least something appears to be, the wheels appear to be turning. So hopefully something comes of it and we see less of this happening in our part of the world. All right. Cool. Aussie Stew talking real quick. When is the next comedy show for next week? Okay, so I have other shows. I'll quick little plugs for me. I have a show tonight in Asok. You can follow me on Instagram or Leaf Laugh Love Comedy. I'll put that in the chat. That's on Instagram. You can stay up to date on all the comedy shows that happen here in Bangkok, and even some in Pattaya that I'm now putting on monthly. So yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Vishai. So that is also a show tomorrow night that we'll be doing at a new place. That's okay. So this one is tonight's Golden Hour, that'll be tonight's, but I do that every Thursday, so I didn't really want to plug it too much. Go to the other one, be shy. Tomorrow night, my good friend Kenny Simmons will be hosting at 8855 Restaurant and Base. So, Aussie Stew, if you're ever in town, I got you. And Stinking Rocket, will I have a show between March 22nd and 28th? I will, but not in Pattaya. I'll be doing, well, here, yes, I will definitely have shows. In Pattaya, I'll have my next show April 4th. So if anybody's down there, just stay tuned. Next story. We're off to Malaysia. All right. Good? We're good? Cool. All right. So the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar is defending his frequent travel and cites record investment growth. Maybe. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim dismissed criticism of his frequent overseas trips, insisting they are vital for securing foreign investment. He emphasized that Malaysia, as a trading nation, relies on investment to drive job creation and economic growth. During his recent Vietnam visit, Anwar engaged in back-to-back diplomatic and business meetings, underscoring his commitment. His efforts appear to be paying off. Malaysia recorded a historic 378 billion, in approved investments for 2024, a 14.9% increase from last year, with major contributions from the US, Germany, and China. I mean, if you're getting results, then I think that is a bit more defensible, particularly for a developing nation like Malaysia, where you can secure a lot of foreign investment that brings in a lot of money to develop projects in your country. Seems good, and if his trip to Vietnam was any indication, he was doing back-to-back meetings. He was really busy and securing these deals. Cool, I guess. As long as people are keeping him honest and is feeder to the fire, and he's actually doing this to secure those investments, I think it's fair game. But you can also understand the criticism, right? Hey, you're the leader of our country. Why are you gone all the time? Look, man, if he's making business deals, he's doing right by the country, in my opinion. There are plenty of things to criticize him about, I think, but in this case, the market effect on direct investment in Malaysia is something to be proud of. So, anyways, Malaysians, curious to know your thoughts on how he's doing and if this is really a controversy or if it's just a generated one. All right, moving on, our next story. We got a little bit of succession in Singapore as a tycoon accuses his son of a boardroom coup at CDL. That's right, City Developments Limited, or CDL, Singapore's largest property developer, is in turmoil after Chairman Kwek Leng Bang accused his son, CEO Sherman Kwek, of a boardroom coup. Leng Bang attempted to fire Sherman over alleged governance lapses, but was blocked by the board. The family feud escalated with a lawsuit filed against Sherman and 6 directors. CDL stock trading was suspended amid the dispute, coinciding with a 37% drop in annual profit. Yikes. The conflict revives tensions from CDL's failed China investment, which caused massive losses. Leng Bang is pushing to replace Sherman, citing poor financial performance since his tenure began. Yeah, a little family drama at the highest levels over there. Look, apparently the guy's been acting as CEO, right? So he's been the one who's sort of overseeing these poor performances from the company. So you can understand the father's concerns with that. But also, father tried to fire him instead of trying to work with him. You can understand the family drama involved. Board blocking him. Good God, who knows what's going on? But this is like a real-life episode of Succession. Gonna keep my eyes on this to see how this unfolds because, it's a big company, right? And their decisions have very big consequences for development projects all over the world, including in Southeast Asia. So we'll see what happens here, but Daddy ain't happy. And apparently Singapore's succession story is yet to be resolved. I like that one. I thought that was a fun one. I like family drama. But moving on to our last story, we have finally a resolution to the ongoing conflict between Apple and Indonesia, as the two parties reach an agreement to lift the iPhone 16 ban. Apple and Indonesia have agreed on terms to lift the country's iPhone 16 ban, ending a 5-month dispute. The deal requires Apple to invest $1 billion in Indonesia, including setting up a plant in Batam for AirTag production and another in Bandung for accessories. Apple will also fund training programs to boost local tech skills, but has no immediate plans for iPhone manufacturing in Indonesia. The deal benefits both sides. Apple gains access to Indonesia's massive market, while President Prabowo secures a political win by securing increased foreign investment. The saga's over. Like, this has been a big story for, almost half a year now, that Apple couldn't access one of the largest markets in Asia. Obviously, mobile phones are a big thing in every country over here. So the fact that they're not able to sell their most recent devices to a very large market was a big money-making loss for them, but also very interesting to see a country stand up to Apple and be like, oh, well, no, you can't. We'll sell your old stuff, but until you invest in us more directly, then we're not going to do it. So I think this is an interesting way to use your economy's leverage to get these companies that are obviously making tons of money off of your market to be able to, reinvest into that market, right? Like, there should be, look, I don't know. I'm no communist, right? I'm a capitalist. I like markets, guys, but there should be a symbiosis between the people that are profiting on the markets and their ability to invest in those markets so that consumers have the money to actually consume. So, this is a win for the political leadership of Indonesia, and come on, also a win for Apple. They're going to make a ton of money. I'm sure that $1 billion, they'll make it back in no time. So anyways, congratulations on the end of that saga to both parties. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of Good Morning Thailand. Guys, please subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand here on YouTube. Also, go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, wherever. You get more content that we don't usually post. Well, we don't post on YouTube. We post all sorts of fun, different lifestyle content, more news, more funny videos, all of that stuff on our other platforms. So please do follow us there. Also, you can go to thetiger.com throughout the day to stay up to date on all of the crazy news stories that are happening here. We keep things publishing pretty much constantly. Finally, if you are enjoying the conversation here on YouTube and want to continue it, you can go to ASEANnow.com, Thailand's largest expat forum and rapidly growing around the region. That'll do it. Now, let me get into the comments and see what you guys are saying.